Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to another episode of the Cider Drinker. And on today's episode I am bringing to you one that is quite a frequenter of most pubs across the country, and is also available in quite a few stores across the country as well. This particular one is Aspall Draught Suffolk Cider. Now, this is found in quite a few places really, if you do your searching about, and does seem to be quite a favourite with most cider drinkers out there. So, well, we'll just see how this particular one turns out. You can get quite a few varieties of Aspall as well. This one is the draft variety that I'm trying today, but you can also get, I think it's the Premier Cru, and there's also a Perennial Blush or something, which is with, I think it's like blackberry juice or something like that. So I'll be definitely trying those ones out as well. But this is all about the draft one tonight, so let me just give you some details on Aspall Draught Cider. Aspall Draught Cider comes in 500ml bottles, and is also available on tap in quite a few establishments across the country as well, so just keep your eye out for it if you're out and about. The alcohol percentage is 5.5% in volume. It doesn't say if it's dry or sweet, so I'm sure I'll find out in the taste. And the price is actually quite varied, to be honest. The general price of it is around about £2.19 for this particular bottle, but you can definitely get it for a lot cheaper if you do your searching around, so just be a bit wary if you're going to buy this one. There we are then. Now, this is quite a unique bottle design. It's one that I've not really seen used much elsewhere, especially with ciders anyway. It's very misleading as well, because you think you're going to be getting a lot more cider for your money for this, but it is still only 500ml. So they've obviously been very clever with their bottle design to disguise that fact, because you'd think it was at least 568ml, but no, you're still only getting 500ml out of this bottle. Now, it does scream real like prestigiousness, like on the front of the bottle. It says founded by Clement Chevalier, established in 1728. Produced in Aspall, Suffolk, England, and overall just has a very, I don't know, very prestigious look about it. It's definitely a unique look, that is for sure. You can't really find many other bottles that are of this design. Oh, on the neck it says 8 generations of cider making, as well as, you know, 1728. That is a long time to be making cider. Multi-award winners for quality and taste since 1728 as well. So, it doesn't say what awards, it just says it's multi-award winning, so must be a bloody good cider if that is the case. Now, like I say, this is the Draft Suffolk Cider, and it's clean and crisp with an incredible fresh apple aroma, ideally suited for accompanying meals or as a refreshing drink on its own. Created in 2003 to celebrate the Chevalier family's 275th year of cider making in the parish of Aspall. Well, that's quite a bold claim, isn't it? However, I have just noticed right at the bottom here, sugars are added to aid fermentation. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I'm quite big when it comes to sugars added into ciders, and to be honest, they shouldn't really be there unless it's their natural sugar, so it's natural sugars from the apples. The fact that they're added to aid fermentation doesn't really sit well with me. I don't know. This might just give off a little bit of a artificial taste, but you never know. It might still be very good. At least it doesn't just say, you know, ingredients, sugars. It's to aid fermentation, so I don't know. Might get a sweet taste out of this. We never know. One thing to do, and that is to get this top off. So let's get this off. There we go. I actually do like the top of the Aspall ones. It's you probably can't see this, but yeah, it's just a nice older Cavalier kind of guy with a massive moustache. I'd love to have a moustache like that, but there we go. Right, let's just give this a little whiff. Nothing amazingly outstanding about that. You can definitely smell the apples coming off of this, so it's right with their fresh apple aroma, but not really getting much else. It does really smell like typical ciders that you find on store shelves and everything. There isn't really anything special coming off of this, but you know, it is all in taste, so we'll just pour this into the glass. Now, seeing as this is a long old bottle, yep, still glugging away. There we go. Mind you, I'm not surprised, because it is such a long bottle, You know, I'm really surprised if you didn't get any glugging action coming off of this. But there we go, let me pour this all in to the glass. There we go. See what I mean? Just 500 mils for you guys, not even 568, but there we go. So yeah, this is what it looks like. Very light coloured cider, and you know, quite a few bubbles coming off of this, quite a lot of carbonation. A few big ones as well coming off of it, but yeah, it's a very, very clear, light cider, so that's pretty cool. Now then, let's see what it smells like in the glass. Yeah, you definitely get more of the apple aroma coming out of the glass. Really strange, because I'd have thought that this bottleneck would have, you know, trapped all the flavours coming off of it, but obviously not this time. But yeah, very nice fresh apple smell coming off of it. There's definitely no like bitter tartiness coming off it, so overall the smell does its job. That's really good. But as we all know, it is in the taste, so bottoms up. Well, I'm not really sure what to make of that one. That's really got a variety of different textures coming off of this. It initially started off very nice with a very clean and crisp taste coming off of it. You could really taste the apples, but for some strange reason, when it got to the end of the taste, there was almost a metallic sort of aftertaste to it, which is really strange. I can't quite put my finger on that one, so I'll go for a second opinion just to be sure. Yeah, the initial taste is really nice. You can really taste the apples coming off of it. But it's really strange. There's a really, really strong metallic aftertaste coming out of this. And there's not really much more to the aftertaste at all, if I'm being quite honest. It's you can definitely tell that they've added sugars to it, because there's that, you know, there's almost like a thick texture to this. Yeah, it starts off really clean and crisp, but when it starts going back down in your throat, I don't know, it's got that sort of like syrupy kind of texture to it, where it's just like, you know, kind of like sticks to your gums a bit. So that's, you know, that's pretty disappointing, because, you know, you don't see these real ciders saying, oh no, we need to add sugar to aid the fermentation. To be honest, I think it's a bit of a cop-out saying that they've just added it to aid fermentation, because you don't see other ciders doing that, and they still taste bloody good with their fermentation and everything. So sadly, that is a little bit disappointing, because you know, I had kind of high hopes for Aspall, thinking, you know, especially seeing as it's one of the more pricier ciders out there as well. Like I say, this bottle can cost you around about £2.19, maybe more. So yeah, that's quite a bit disappointing. Let me just get a third taste. Yeah, as with that, it is a sweet tasting cider, because they've added the sugars to it. And yeah, there's really not a whole lot going on after you've had the initial taste. There's no real lingering flavours in the back of your throat. There's no, you know, there's no amazing textures or anything that are sitting around in your mouth. So really, it's another one of these ciders that you just, oh, excuse me, and a very gassy one as well. God dear me, I've had to conceal a couple of belches already. But yeah, this is one of those where you've just got to really just keep on drinking it to experience the taste of it. In other words, one that you've got to quaff quite a bit of it in order to get any sort of taste of it. It's not one that you can actually just sit down and enjoy by yourself, which is a bit disappointing really, but there we go. You know, looks can be deceiving. You know, it's got that on the front, you know, it's really like prestigious, you know, making it look like it's a real quality cider, and then it has this sort of taste to it, which is, well, yeah, as I say, it's just really disappointing. Did we just get a final taste just to be sure? Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a bad tasting cider. I mean, you know, if I was in a pub and they had, say, if they had Magners, Bulmers, Strongbow and Aspall available, I'd easily go for Aspall over all of them. It definitely beats them in, you know, in its taste and everything. But there's nothing overly outstanding about this one. I don't know what awards it won, but they must be pretty standard awards, because there's just been so many better tasting ciders that I've had on this show, and this one really isn't up to scratch, really. But like I say, you know, it's not a bad tasting cider, and like I say, you know, if I was out, I would actually drink it quite happily. But for one that I'd buy again and again, probably not. I'd probably save my money for something a little bit better tasting, and definitely one that's well worth your money as well. Like I say, £2.19 is kinda getting to more of the more expensive ciders on the store shelves. So, you know, take this one with a pinch of salt. Sorry, Cameron decided to cut out there. So yeah, verdict. For me, Aspall Draught Suffolk cider gets a 6 out of 10. You know, just slightly above average. Like I say, you know, it's definitely a nice tasting cider, but there really is just nothing overly outstanding about this. So if you are out and about and you see it, give it a go, but don't expect to have your taste buds blown away by it. But there we go. Sometimes, you know, these nice looking ciders just have a real bland character to it, and ones that you wouldn't even give a second look for have the most amazing taste. You just don't know, do you? All ciders are completely different, and that's what I'm here to do, to give you my opinions on them. But that was another episode of The Cider Drinker for you guys. Hope you liked it. And, well, I will be back some other time with another delicious and tasty cider for you. But until then, even though it's not been the best cider in the world, I am going to sit back and enjoy me this nice glass of Aspall Draught cider. Until next time, guys, take care.